so what do we get ourselves up to today? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I think first things first, we need to just clear everything out of here. So let's do a bit of harvesting. And, all right, and then we go to Pierre's. Oh, there it is. We did get it. Oh, yes. Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Yes, yes, indeed it is. So good. A level of farming and all this coffee. What is not to love? Welcome back, friends. I'm glad you're here, and thank you so much for watching. Let's jump over to the mushroom cave and harvest those, and then let's go say hello to our chickens. Since it is raining today, they will all be in the barn, so I didn't have to hunt for them in the grass for once. And having picked up their eggs, it's time to go over to the mayonnaise machines, make some mayonnaise, and also fire up the furnaces and smelt some more gold bars. I'm running both a bit low on gold and iron bars, mainly because I keep trying to expand the amount of sprinklers that we have on the farm. Although, because we do have more sprinklers now, that also means that we can have more crops, so it's off to Pierre's to purchase some melons. And since we were able to harvest some melons, it was time to drop one off at the community center and finish up another bundle. Then back to the farm to put out some new sprinklers and plant our melon seeds. I even fertilized them for once. That will be very helpful in growing high-quality crops to make more money. After fun in the rain planting our new crops, off to the mines. I'm in search today of two things. We need lots more iron ore, and also we have to find and defeat as many dust sprites as we can. Obviously, we want 500 in total, which will then result in Gil rewarding us with the burglar ring. As you can tell, it's a pretty good day in the mines so far. We found lots of ore and dust sprites on the first couple of floors that we were on, and even the ladders down appeared without too much hassle until floor 44, where it took ages, and honestly, floor 45 and 46 were not much better. I'm also at the point now where I need a lot of stone, so finding large rocks like on floor 47 is actually exciting for me. And I don't think that in all the hundreds and hundreds of hours that I have played this game that I've ever been that excited for large rocks, but here we are. Floor 48 had some nice ores, and 49 had some adorable dust sprites. And you know, I do feel vaguely sad hunting them down every single playthrough. Of all the monsters in the game that you have to fight, I just think that dust sprites are adorable. They also don't do very much damage to you, and they sometimes break rocks and ore nodes for you. Like, imagine if there was a trinket that added a dust sprite as a pet. I would totally use that, even though I do love the parrot a lot. And honestly, not much else happened that was exciting from floors 50 to 54. And even floor 54 was pretty dull with just a little bit of ore on it. But now that it was quite late in the day, our total was 45 iron ore, which is pretty well done. And after our hard work, it was time to head back to the farmhouse, ring our crystal, make sure we had pet our puppers, and then head to sleep. The end of the day also reminds me that our farming level that we'd earned earlier in the day, and also we found out that we got to level 6 in combat. We're drawing ever closer to opening up that mastery cave. As day 42 of our playthrough begins, or summer day 14 if you want to think about it that way, we have a whole pile of blueberries to harvest, so let's get to it. Harvesting blueberries is one of my favorite things in the entire game. Not only do you get a ton of them and make a whole pile of money, but also because I love blueberry picking in real life, and my family and I always try and find somewhere nearby to where we live so that we can go and do that every summer. It was really easy to do in Michigan because blueberry farms are everywhere, but here in Wisconsin, there's a lot more strawberry farms than there are blueberry farms, so it's a little bit harder to find one. And once we were done with our blueberry harvest and grabbing up all the batteries from the previous day's storm, it was time to track down our chickens and give them pets and pats and loves, and of course pick up all the eggs in the coop so that we can make even more mayonnaise. And it is a Sunday in the game, which means we need to go check the traveling cart. I picked up a wool and a tea sapling on this shopping trip. I might make the wool into some cloth or maybe just give it to Emily, and the tea sapling, once we plant it and it grows, will allow me to give Caroline green tea, which she does love. And as you can tell, the secret woods didn't really give us much at all, so it was back to the farm to harvest some more coffee, forget to water the plants, the first of many days of that, and then put some new tree tappers out, since I want to be able to build more kegs, which means I need more oak resin. I also put a few tree taps on maple trees so that we can get more maple syrup and be able to build more beehives as well. if we can get to Ginger Island, Fairy Rose honey is a great way to make bonus money. I was also able to harvest some more hops and build our first couple of kegs, which I temporarily have placed just above the sell bin, and then got some hops started in them to make pale ale. That always feels like such a key moment in the playthrough to be able to build your first kegs. And being it is a beautiful day, and I need some money, I figured we would stop over at the mountain lake to do some fishing. All right, so hopefully we get a largemouth bass. That's really all that I'm concerned with. Although I guess a sturgeon would be okay too. Or any fish really at this point. Hello, fish. Hello, Stardew. Fishes. Hello, thank you. And look at that, we got a sturgeon. Yes! That started off the day amazingly. And soon after that, we also got a chub, a rainbow trout, and another sturgeon. Hello. Followed shortly thereafter by a bullhead, a sturgeon, and a rainbow trout with a chest that even had some fire quartz in it, which is one of my favorite things to find. Catch number 8 of the day is a carp, followed by a second carp, a bullhead, which had some bait in a chest, 2 chub, and several green algae, which just had me giving up on fishing for the rest of the day. All right, look, what is that, like 4 algae in a row? Come on, game. Stopping at the community center, I dropped off a fiddlehead fern, then checked the request board by Pierre's. Pam wanted a hot pepper, so I rushed back to the farm to pick one up and then off to the saloon to drop it off. All right, Pam, here we come. Yes, indeed. Okay, so we'll just go over here and we'll just do this. Hey, the hot pepper I requested. I appreciate it. Here's your payment. Thank you. Fried eel. +1 luck. That's pretty nice. I don't know that anybody loves fried eel. Ah, but somebody does love it. Jody! I did not know that at the time I recorded the episode, however, but I thought you all might want to know because the comment section told me all about it. And heading back to the farm, I planted a mahogany seed and worked on clearing out a little grove of pine trees on the southern island. I want to use that space for our fish ponds eventually, and I think you can fit 5 or 6 down there easily enough. After some tree chopping, it was very late, and sleeping sounded great, and I made it to bed at 1:50 a.m., nearly passing out in my own house. Close one. There we go. 11,000 from Blueberries. That's wonderful. Another day and another pile of crops to harvest. This time, a bunch of hops and some corn, not to mention the peppers. We do still need corn for the community center, and peppers are great gifts for Lewis and also Shane. Once that's all done, it's off to see the chickens and collect the eggs, grab our mushrooms as we do every other day, and I also decided this time to dehydrate some of the brown common ones, and then it was off to see Robin for a building project. There we are. And now it's 9 o'clock. Hi, Robin. I would like you to build me a barn. And I'm going to put it right down here over by the coop, okay? In fact, we're going to put it right here. All right. I will work on it in the morning. Thank you. That will be wonderful. Now it's time to drop off some corn at the community center. First of the fall crops bundle, even though it's still summertime. It's always great to work ahead. Speaking of working, it's time to put Clint to work, opening up some geodes and mystery boxes. Ah, a beach totem. All right, flower seeds, not that helpful. Is that wheat? Okay. Maybe we do this one. Oh, hello there. Hello there. Oh, I think we're getting some stuff we haven't had. Ooh, fire quartz, nice. How much is that last backpack upgrade, by the way? We should probably think about getting that too at some point. Okay, there's 3 coal. So we said like run around in the mines and hope we get enough coal? Okay, I guess. I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I just was hoping we could just run down here and talk to him and be like, hey, look, I have 15 coal. And he'd be like, hey, that's pretty awesome. Well, we didn't get anything useful from the mystery boxes, by which I mean that we did not get any hardwood at all. We did get some new minerals from the geodes at least, so it's time to stop by and see Gunther and donate those for the museum's collection. Maybe one day we'll finish that off, but not anytime soon. From there, it's back once again to the mines and our favorite place to start, floor 40. Hopping down to floor 41, found some dust sprites waiting for us along with the slime and a little bit of ore. Floor 42 had large rocks along with several dust sprites to fight and a little bit of ore as well. And so each floor went. A bit of ore here, some dust sprites there, the occasional slime, until floor 46, which was infested with monsters that all needed to be defeated. Our final floor for this day is floor 47. There was quite a few chunks of iron ore to mine out as well, and thanks to all the dust sprites, we were able to obtain all 15 coal that Clint had requested earlier in the day. So I stopped by the saloon to make sure to get that request turned in. Aha, perfect. They look great. Here's your payment. Wonderful. It's not even the payment that we care about, honestly. Although 500 is pretty solid. And back on the farm, it was time to make some more pale ale. 2 hops, please. 2 hops this time. I then remembered that Pam wanted a pale ale, so we had to run all the way back to the saloon. Very nice. All right, so if I just talk to you. Nothing like a sip of the good stuff to warm these bones. All right, what about this? Boom. Give me that. Oh, that's the stuff. It's real nice and hoppy. Notes of citrus and pine. Robust body. Thanks, means a lot. I knew I could count on you. So thank you. Now then, did you pay us for this? Yes, you did. And hilariously, Pam pays us for the pale ale, but runs up her tab at the saloon. Poor Gus. Anyway, after all of that, it was time to get some more sleep. Starting out on day 44, we harvest our hops and tomatoes, and let's just keep ignoring the fact that I haven't watered the coffee for several days, and instead mutter about how a melon didn't get watered. Now I'm thinking we're going to want to grab the scythe real quick once we store all of this. I wonder why that didn't get watered for a day or something. I wonder why that's so far behind all the other ones. And then go visit our chickens. While visiting the chickens, I decided to just double-check the wiki and make sure that bombs do not, in fact, blow up stumps. Now, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't even know how many I need, honestly, to make it work, if it does work, so... Yeah, this is going to be... This is definitely a for science moment here. As usual, the wiki is correct. In this case, it's a bit of a shame, but it sure was fun to try. After our explosive failure, I decided it was a good time to stop by Pine Tree Island and finish clearing it up so we can move the fish pond down there. Time to unleash our inner lumberjacks. The woodskip pond wanted some red mushrooms. Thanks to the mushroom cave, we had plenty on hand, so I decided to toss those in. Then we went over to the museum and dropped off an artifact, gave Vincent a grape, and then headed on up to the Spawn Railroad Station to clean up the area and also plant a ton of trees. I'm not entirely certain if I will eventually use those trees for tree taps or just cut them down for the foraging experience, but I did plant 15 acorns, 15 maple seeds, and 15 pine cones as well. I also made sure to clean up all the stones and wood lying around and cut down all the pine trees that were already there. And on the way home from the train station, I figured it was time to clear off the mountain pathway. I had to replenish my supply of wood after building that barn, after all. It took 3 hours in the game to clear the mountain path, which really isn't that bad since we're just using the starting axe. And the last thing for today is to make sure to put a chest in our house and toss a bunch of food items and odds and ends into it to save some room in the chest outside. I really can't wait to get some of the bigger chests for more storage room, or maybe even a shed, probably both. And during the course of the day, with all that work put into chopping down trees, we did manage to reach level 7 foraging and received the recipe for tree fertilizer. And maybe one day I'll even remember to use some. Outside we go. Here's the thing. All right, Hill Home was a silly. And I totally kind of forgot to do this for like a day or two, so we're going to make sure that we get it done today and that we water all of our coffee so that we can continue to, get coffee. We don't get the beans, we can't make the coffee, we can't make the coffee, we can't make the espresso, and it's a whole chain of events of failure. So let's try to cease the event chain of failure right here. We have watered our crops. I feel better about everything. Well, after all that silliness, it was time to chop down a few trees in the hopes that we will need even more room for mahogany trees later on. We'll see how that goes. I also made sure to swing by the mushroom cave and pick up the new ones, along with making another bag of dehydrated mushrooms. Hey, look at that. We got Woody's book. Okay, so this is perfect. So this book is the key to success in life, because we're gonna learn this one right now. And now every subsequent book that we find, we can turn in for 20 hardwood each. And with that lovely new power at our disposal, I wanted to be sure to stop by the secret woods. Who knows? Maybe we'll find some more mahogany seeds, but of course we did not. Having been disappointed once more, it was off to the mines for even more iron ore, dust sprite fights, and even some skeleton bashing. I grabbed some more, smashed more rocks, found some ladders, then we went down deeper into the mines and did all of that again, except this time we smashed ore and rocks and then fought skeletons. How dare you attempt to throw a bone at my face? That is so rude of you. Well, there's even a frozen tear. Well, well, well. Sebastian's outside on the way home. We will definitely give that to him. At the end of our short little tour into the mines, we had 6 quartz and 26 iron ore. Well done. I also had found a frozen tear, so when we went outside, I decided to see if we could find Sebastian, and thankfully he was still there. It's always nice to be able to find people to give their favorite gifts to in Stardew Valley. I was also trying to gather some stones for Robin, but because she was building the barn and therefore was in the middle of the barn, the game wouldn't let me interact with her at all. If I click on you, there we go. No, I want to talk to Robin. So I guess we'll try again tomorrow, because there's no way that I would totally forget to turn that in, right? Of course not. Well, let's go to bed. Sad that we couldn't turn our side quest in and see what tomorrow brings to us. All right. Oh, blueberries, coffee, everything's done. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's an explosion of I don't know what to do. Oh no. So, since I remembered to water the coffee on day 45, we actually had coffee beans again. And hops too, of course. Then I watered all the coffee plants before moving on to harvest the peppers and even more blueberries. Again, nothing compares to the joy of the explosion of blueberries when harvesting them in this game. It just makes me smile every single time. And after all that harvesting, it was off to see Marnie. And now that we had new animal friends, it was time to welcome them to the farm with pets and pats and loves. And they will, of course, love being on the farm, I'm sure of it. Being that I had spent a decent amount of money on the new animal purchases, I wanted to stop by Pierre's and sell some blueberries in person, just to see how much funding I had to work with. And then once more, we headed back to the mines. It's just that time in the playthrough where I need a lot more resources and you just have to grind them out, and also the monster kills as well. And not a whole lot happened today in the mines, honestly. I started on floor 40 and worked my way down towards floor 50. And there was a little ore here and there, and finally on floor 49, we found not only ore, but also a lot of dust sprites. I can't wait until the large request board's up so we can hopefully get some fun things like Monster Musk. That really helps a ton in finding dust sprites to defeat. And once back at the farm at the end of the day, I finally remembered to make that tree fertilizer for the mahogany trees, and also to actually place it on them. And once that task was done, it was off to bed for some rest. Good night to the dog. All right. Wonderful. There's another 1,000. And we have a couple of things that we need to do, starting with watering the coffee. Yes, that's right. We must water the coffee. And I still feel bad that I forgot to do it for a couple days there, a few episodes back. But you know what? We're fixing our mistakes as we go. Now that our coffee's watered, let's check the mushroom cave and pick a few mushrooms. And then the fish pond to see how the wood skips are progressing, and of course, check in on our chickens and cows. As soon, they will all grow up and we'll have even more animal products to supplement our income with every day. And it's already Friday again, the traveling cart's here, so let's head on down to the woods. And after a brisk little walk, we arrived at the cart. After perusing the contents carefully, The only thing I decided to purchase today is another rare seed, and heading back into the secret woods, when we found a couple of forage items, but despite slaying all the slimes, we did not get a single mahogany seed. I'm really starting to feel like the RNG in this save file just does not like giving me mahogany seeds. That being said, I had found a blue dwarven scroll the previous day in the mines, so I made sure to drop that off with Gunther, and now we just need one more of the yellow one to complete that part of the collection. Sadly, the yellow one does tend to be the one that I have the hardest time finding. And from the museum, I wanted to go check the request board in case something interesting was posted, and we were tasked to defeat 4 red lava slimes. Easy enough, and for a prize ticket? Sign me up! The tree taps on the farm had produced some maple syrup for us, so I made sure to swing by the community center as well and make sure to turn that in. The chef's bundle is always a bit tricky to get done, and we have a long way to go on that one still. That being said, it was time to head off to the mines and fight those slimes. Oh, there's a rock crab that wants to volunteer to move. Well, that's very exciting. Ooh, and we got a boom boom. In that case, let's put that there and see if we don't find a way down. Excellent. And look, here's more slime. Perfect. All right, that's 2 out of 4. Oh, look at all the slime friends. Yes, indeed, we fought those monsters and defeated them all. Also, please note that the hand axe artifact is in the hotbar. A derp moment from me is coming. Finally, on floor 95, I fought a couple more monsters and left to head down to the museum. Oh, we just barely didn't make it in time. Having just missed Gunther, we now had to find Mayor Lewis in order to turn in the quest for the lava slimes, get paid our 500G, and get that prize ticket. Lewis was not at home, but since it was Friday, I checked the saloon, and he was there. Gave us our reward. Thanks, Lewis. And back in his house, I checked the machine. All right, Lewis, what do you have in your machine of joy? 10 mixed seeds, not that exciting. However, the next 2 rewards are exciting. And after that rather disappointing reward from the prize machine, I decided to swing by the beach for a little bit of foraging. There was quite a lot there, and I didn't have enough room in my inventory. I even tossed out a couple things I didn't really need. That wasn't enough still. So I had to warp back to the farm, sell a bunch of forage. Yeah, so remember that hand axe? Whoop! There it goes. Failure! Put a bunch of other things away in chests, and then go back to the beach to pick up what I'd left. There were still a couple of sea urchins there, some coral, and also a clam. Then it was time to sleep before the exciting events of day 48. The annual Trout Derby has begun. Well then. Gathering data on the correlation between... I need a fresh smell. Okay, listen. That is worth some money, but here's the problem. We don't have one right now. We are growing extra melons, but... Oh, wait. Oh, they're ready. Okay, never mind. We can take care of that. Well, that's wonderful. Ah, the melons that Demetrius wanted. He'll be so excited. I'm also excited because it's Trout Derby time, and there's some decent prizes to earn there if we can get enough golden tags. The coffee plants are watered, so let's get fishing. In the course of the Derby today, I caught a lot of fish. There'll be a tracker going on the screen. Here's what we got. We got a trout, another trout and a tag, a chub, a trout, a dorado, the first one we caught, 2 more trout, another tag, an algae, a trout, and a tag 2 times in a row. We kept fishing, and then I caught a chub, our first sunfish, a trout, a river jelly, and a chub. Good stuff. Another river jelly. Ooh, fancy. Next up, another sunfish. 3 trout, complete with 2 golden tags on a low luck day, no less. Which we followed up with another chub, 2 more trout, and 2 algae. Then, since it was later in the day, we caught a bream, a chub, 2 rainbow trout, and a pike. And I finished it all up with another trout, an algae, and a final pike for today. And now we can just turn in our stuff. We got a tent kit. Okay. How much room do we have? Oh, we have plenty of room. Oh, mystery boxes. All right, mystery boxes are nice. A diamond? Well, we can probably sell that. That's 750. There's our mounted trout sign. We'll probably say that until we, like, you know, upgrade the house. There's some bait. Okay. Oh, some espresso. Yo, let's go. All right, hang on. What was that? Was that 6? All right. And a sprinkler. Okay, well, it turns out that we didn't actually need that chest today. But maybe we do tomorrow? I don't know. We'll see. Then I was back to the farm to sell, and sell some more fish. All in all, it was a great day at the Derby, and I had a lot of fun. And it's time to get some sleep, and we also unlocked level 9 farming. Now we can make seed makers, quality fertilizer, iridium sprinklers, if we only had the resources. I'm very excited about the seed makers, though, let me tell you. And boy, did we make a lot of money, too. Almost 10,000 G. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching this summary. Appreciate you all, and we'll see you next time.